masterpiece. Oh, yeah!
Many people might see Dr. Pepper as being in the shadow of Coca-Cola, but in reality, it's so much more than that. Here are 10 reasons why Dr. Pepper is bigger than you think.
Find a winning Dr. Pepper can and you could win super speed, strength, or flight.
Coca-Cola was threatened.
There have been whispers about Coca-Cola.
Even though Coca-Cola came along a year after Dr. Pepper, it's always somewhat flattering when you see your competition shaking in its boots. Decades later, while Dr. Pepper was continuing to gain in popularity, Coca-Cola, the biggest worldwide brand of soda, felt threatened and decided it needed to act, and fast. Its best bet? Create a new product to go against Dr. Pepper. So in 1972, the Coca-Cola Company announced a new drink, Mr. Pibb. With the same peppery flavor profile, same color packaging, and basically the same marketing, Mr. Pibb was not being very subtle about what it was trying to do. Heck, its original name was Peppo. It doesn't really get much clearer than that.
Are you imitating me?
No! However, this name didn't fly with Dr. Pepper, and the company was quick to file a trademark infringement lawsuit against Coca-Cola as it was way too similar to its own brand name. To add salt to the wound, when Mr. Pibb was released, Coca-Cola first made the drink available to tasting groups in Waco, the birthplace of Dr. Pepper. But no matter how many swipes Coca-Cola took at Dr. Pepper, Mr. Pibb could never truly compete with the original and was discontinued in 2001. Dr. Pepper truly proved that it was ready for anything Coca-Cola could throw at it.
Stan, how will we face the future without Mr. Pibb?
Dr. Pepper, holiday staple?
Yes, Dr. Pepper is delicious cold or hot.
Every family has its own traditions during the holidays, whether it's a family football game, a giant home-cooked ham, or a bottomless bowl of eggnog. Everybody has their thing. Back in the 1960s, however, there was a new tradition on the rise, or at least it tried to become one: hot Dr. Pepper. Yep, there's nothing that says Christmas more than a warm cup of soda. The company wanted to boost the sales in the colder months. Sure, soda can be heavenly on a hot day, but when it's snowing and freezing, you tend to turn to more homey drinks. As a result, Dr. Pepper thought the best way to promote the drink during winter was to make it seem more festive.
You clever boy.
So they tried to make hot Dr. Pepper a new holiday staple. Obviously, as we can see today, it didn't really take off, but it still had its devotees, especially in the South. If you're curious as to what hot Dr. Pepper might taste like, it's not too late to make it yourself. All you need to do is heat Dr. Pepper in a saucepan to 180 degrees, then place a thin slice of lemon at the bottom of a mug and pour the warm beverage over it, stir, and enjoy. It will transform into a thick, sweet tea closely resembling a hot cider. It might not become your new go-to Christmas drink, but it's good to know that it could be if you wanted, right?
I'm not hungry.
Hot Dr. Pepper. Your favorite.
Dr. Pepper, capital of the world.
In the best city in the world.
Dr. Pepper has been a popular drink all over the United States and, well, the rest of the world ever since it was invented. You can get your hands on Dr. Pepper all across Europe, Asia, North and South America, and Australia. Basically anywhere you can think of. However, as much as everybody seems to be a sucker for the soft drink, there is one city in Virginia that just can't ever get enough of the sweet nectar: Roanoke. Roanoke has been Dr. Pepper's biggest metro market, and for many years, people in Roanoke drank more Dr. Pepper per capita than any other place in the U.S.
That's a lot of pressure.
This led to the city being named the Dr. Pepper capital of the world in 1957. To honor and celebrate the drink, Roanoke has officially named October 24th Dr. Pepper Day, which comes with a big celebration, a live concert, and giveaways. All this takes place at none other than Dr. Pepper Park. Having your drink be so popular it has a day named after it is not something every company can brag about.
Gonna own this city.
Fountain of Youth?
So to me, it feels like Dr. Pepper is a super sexy soap opera doctor.
Usually drinking soda is bad for you. Everybody knows the effects it can have on your body and just how harmful it is to your overall health. Again, that's usually the case. But when a woman turned 104 years old and revealed her secret weapon was Dr. Pepper, it made a lot of people question their own consumption of the beverage. Elizabeth Sullivan was a loyal Texan customer of Dr. Pepper who had a lot to say about the supposed health impacts of the soft drink. For over 40 years, Elizabeth said she would drink up to 3 cans of Dr. Pepper a day, even switching a morning cup of Joe for a cold can, and never had any major health issues. Every doctor that sees me says it will kill you, but they die and I don't, so there must be a mistake somewhere, she said in one interview.
Everybody tells me it has too much sugar in it. Evidently, my body needs sugar.
And while she kind of has a point there, some doctors would disagree. One in particular, ironically named Dr. Jeanette Pepper, explained that there is well-known evidence that some ingredients in the soda can have detrimental effects on lifespan, especially with excessive use. But there are also some benefits from the moderate amount of caffeine, which for Elizabeth were definitely huge. Sullivan made Dr. Pepper sound like it was the ultimate fountain of youth, and while we can't be 100% sure that's what made her live for so long, we wouldn't be opposed to testing out the theory for ourselves by drinking more soda. For research, of course.
Sure.
There's a Dr. Pepper museum.
A case of Dr. Pepper and cherry Twizzlers.
Of course, just like anything that becomes crazy popular, Dr. Pepper simply had to have a shrine where hardcore fans could go and express their love. Not many people know this, but in its native city of Waco, Texas, stands a real Dr. Pepper museum. Yes, a museum dedicated to a soft drink. It highlights every company milestone and achievement, all the while making it a fun experience for anyone wanting to learn a bit more about the brand. A regular tour of the museum will usually take between 1 and 2 hours, depending on how deep you're willing to go into the drink's history.
Pop culture references.
Not only can you learn everything there is to know about the beverage, but you can also partake in fun activities while you're at it. The Taste a Soda experience, for instance, lets you step into the role of a sensory scientist by sampling different types of sodas and choosing your favorite. There's also the Make a Soda, which allows you to create your very own recipe. There's the Extreme Pepper experience, the Ultimate VIP experience, and even paranormal tours, showcasing a different side of the museum. If you're unable to go to Waco, worry not, there is still hope. All you need to do is take the virtual tour, which is filled with the same interactive, interesting facts and pieces of trivia, only minus the fun soda crafting and ghost hunting.
The only reality is virtual.
A special secret recipe.
It's a family secret.
Come on.
There is very little in life that can come close to the feeling you get when you drink Dr. Pepper. The explosion of flavors and perfect bubble ratio are what make this soft drink so delicious and inexplicably addicting. But what exactly is in Dr. Pepper? Well, that's something we will sadly probably never know, as the recipe is a well-guarded secret. That's it. Apparently, only 3 people are allowed to know the recipe, and the company allegedly even went as far as splitting the recipe in half for storage at 2 different banks in safe deposit boxes to ensure the secret doesn't come out.
Don't worry, son. Your secret I forgot is safe with me.
In 2009, however, an old ledger was discovered in a Texas antique store with a formula for Dr. Pepper's Pepsin bitters. A breakthrough? Not really. The company said that mixing the ingredients listed on the found ledger, including wahoo bark, bitter orange peel, and mandrake root, would result in nothing like the Dr. Pepper we all know and love today.
I think I'm gonna be sick.
Outstanding performance.
Huge profit margin.
It goes without saying that a company with such a long and rich history must be doing pretty well in terms of numbers, especially since it is still around today and going strong. Dr. Pepper Snapple Group has been growing rapidly over the years and had net sales worldwide amounting to about $6.7 billion back in 2017, a pretty impressive number for one single drink company. In 2018, however, Keurig Dr Pepper was formed after the merger of Keurig Green Mountain and Dr. Pepper Snapple Group and took things to a whole other level.
Now I really work to be successful.
KDP became the first leading beverage company in North America to bring hot and cold beverages together. It now holds a leadership position in various beverage markets, including soft drinks, specialty coffee, tea, water, juice, as well as marketing the #1 single-serve coffee brewing system in the U.S. and Canada. It has an annual revenue in excess of $11 billion, nearly 27,000 employees, and a portfolio of more than 125 owned, licensed, and partner partner brands. KDP is determined to source, produce, and distribute its beverages through the Drink Well, Do Well platform while ensuring the sustainability of the company and its supply chain.
Super smart. Super smart.
Dr. Pepper's long history.
He was then sucked into a flavor portal.
Dr. Pepper is one of the oldest major soft drink brands in America, and it saw the light of day in 1885 in Waco, Texas, after a young Brooklyn-born pharmacist named Charles Alderton invented the formula. It all took place in the pharmacy where he was working at the time, Morrison's Old Corner drugstore. This is where he began experimenting with multiple flavors from the syrups at the shop's soda fountain.
And mix.
Alderton mixed and matched flavorings until finally he crafted the drink that everybody fell in love with. It garnered quite a bit of recognition and quickly became the center of attention. Soon enough, Dr. Pepper started production and its popularity grew immensely. As the brand expanded, Alderton and Morrison struggled a little to keep up with demand, so they teamed up with Robert S. Lazenby, a young beverage chemist, and came up with a plan to expand the brand even more. Obviously, the plan worked, and Dr. Pepper is now one of the most popular soft drinks in the world.
That's a clever invention.
The real Dr. Pepper.
Tell me the truth.
Even though we've always referred to the tasty, peppery drink as Dr. Pepper, it turns out that wasn't what it was always called. Originally, when Charles Alderton came up with the winning formula, it didn't have an official name. Customers wanting to buy one simply had to order a Waco. But as it gained popularity, Alderton realized he needed to come up with a better, proper name. There are over a dozen different stories on how and why the drink became known as Dr. Pepper, but one of the tales told most has got to be the tragic love story of Wade Morrison, the owner of the store.
I love dumb stories.
Apparently, in his youth, Morrison was in love with the daughter of Dr. Charles Pepper, with whom he had worked previously in a small Virginia drugstore. When Charles Pepper deemed Morrison unworthy of his daughter's love, he put a stop to the romance and fired the poor pharmacist. Without any money, he ended up in Waco, which you now know was where the iconic soft drink was born. Legend has it that Morrison chose the name Dr. Pepper as a way to always remember the love he once had. While it all sounds like a legitimate story, there are some holes in the timeline that make it a little hard to believe. Nevertheless, there was a real Dr. Pepper. Whether he was responsible for the name or not, no one knows for sure.
The truth is, it doesn't really matter.
On the national stage,
Cool robot.
Thanks, but actually he's a cooler from the future.
Wow.
when it came to expanding and showcasing its product on the world stage, Dr. Pepper did not take things lightly. In 1904, almost 20 years after the drink was first invented, Dr. Pepper fizzed its way onto the national scene and was introduced at the World's Fair in St. Louis. The World's Fair is a large international exhibition designed to showcase the achievements of nations from different parts of the world over the course of 3 to 6 months. Many notable inventions and creations made their names at the World's Fairs, including the ice cream cone, the hamburger, and the hot dog, which all had a very big impact on our lives.
Let's see now. Inventions.
As people left the fair, most of them had a new favorite drink on their lips, which greatly helped expand the brand. Dr. Pepper was presented to the more than 20 million people attending the fair, which marked a significant kick in the company's progression. It was already a popular drink, but this exposure gave it the push it needed to grow even more. Within the 2 years following the fair, Dr. Pepper started construction on a bottling plant and new headquarters in Waco, which would later become the nerve center for the burgeoning empire. The drink's national debut was able to give the company a head start in the game, and today it has more than proven its worth.
Worth it.
Totally worth it.
Thirsty for more? Just tap or click for more great videos. Hit that subscribe button and ring that bell to join our notification squad.